Hello, it's noontime prayer. I brought the Adult Bible Study Guide of fourth quarter of 2025. It titled The Lessons of Faith from Joshua. It has actually 13 lessons. Contents are here, and let me read or 1 to 13 lessons uh, contents. Lesson 1, Recipe for Success 2, Surprised by Grace, the 3 Memorials of Grace, 4, The Conflict Behind All Conflicts, 5, God fights for you, 6, the Enemy Within, 7, Ultimate Loyalty, Worshiping a War Zan, 8, Giants of Faith, Joshua and Caleb, 9, Heirs of Promise, Prisoners of Hope, 10, The True Joshua, 11, Living in the Land, 12, God is Faithful, 13, Choose this day. Today is the lesson 2, uh, Monday, lesson 2, Surprised by Grace. Memory text Hebrews 11:31. By faith the Herod Rahab did not perish with those who did not believe when she had received the spies with peace. Hebrews 11:31. Yeah, the Sunday is the second chance. Yeah, because this week we will explore two of the most fascinating stories of the book of Joshua and discover their relevance to our faith today. God's grace has infinite possibilities to surprise us. And Sunday, second chance, Joshua 2 1 and Numbers 13 1 and 2, and 25 through 28 and 33, and Numbers 14 1 through 12. Why would Joshua start the mission of conquering the promised land by sending out spies? And think about the experience of the Israelites when they were given a second chance to enter Canaan, and about the grace extended to Peter after he denied his Lord. But what should these incidents teach us about how we should extend grace to those who need it? And today, Monday, a value in an unexpected place. Yeah. Read Joshua 2, 2, 3, 11, Hebrews 11:31, and James 2:25. What do these texts tell us about Rahab? Central to Rahab's story is the lie told to protect the spies. In considering her lie, we have to realize that she was embedded in a society that was extremely sinful, which finally led to God's decision to judge that society. Genesis 15:16, Deuteronomy 9:5, Leviticus 18:25 through 28. While it is true that the New Testament commends her faith, a careful analysis of the New Testament reference to Rahab's act reveals that none endorse everything about her, and none validate her lie. Hebrews 11:31 confirms her faith in casting her lot with the spies instead of choosing to hold on to a corrupt culture. James 2:25 commends her offer of lodging to the two Israelite spies and for giving them directions on how to return by a safe route. In the middle of a descendant corrupt culture and Rahab's own sinful lifestyle, God, in His grace, saw a spark of faith through which He could save her. God used what was good in Rahab, which was manifest faith in Him, and in her choice to belong to his people, but never commanded everything that she did. God valued Rahab for her exceptional courage, for her brave faith, for being an agent of salvation, and for choosing Israel's God. After seeing what was happening, she declared, "For the Lord your God, He is God in heaven above and on earth beneath." Joshua 2:11. It's significant to hear a Canaanite woman acknowledging that Yahweh is the only God, especially on a roof where in her pagan religion prayers were usually offered to what they believed were celestial deities. The expression of Rahab is previously found only in the context of God's exclusive right to receive worship. Exodus 24, Deuteronomy 4:39, Deuteronomy 5:8. Her words bear witness to a premeditated, premed- premeditated, conscientious choice to acknowledge that the God of the Israelites is the only true deity. Her confession demonstrates her understanding of the close relationship between God's sovereignty and the judgment under which Jericho is doomed. Her moral choice recognizes that in light of Yahweh's judgment, there were only two possibilities: to continue in rebellion against him and be annihilated, or to choose to surrender in faith. By choosing the God of the Israelites, Rahab became an example of what could have been the destiny of all the inhabitants of Jericho had they turned to Israel's God for mercy. What does this story teach us about how God must have our ultimate allegiance? And Tuesday, new allegiance, read Joshua 2:12 through 21 and Exodus 12:13, 22, and 23. How do the texts in Exodus help you understand the agreement between the spies and Rahab? Rahab's deal is very clear: life for life and kindness for kindness. The word chest, Joshua 2:12, loving kindness, has a richness of meaning that is difficult to express in one or the other languages. It refers primarily to covenantal loyalty, but it also carries the notion of faithfulness, mercy, benevolence, and kindness. The words of Rahab also are reminiscent of Deuteronomy 7:12, where Yahweh himself swore to keep his trust toward Israel. Then it shall come to pass, because you listen to these judgments and to keep and do them, that the Lord your God will keep with you the covenant and the mercy trust which he swore to your fathers. Deuteronomy 7:12. Interestingly enough, the same chapter, Deuteronomy 7, prescribes the ban term on the Canaanites. Here is Rahab, a Canaanite who is under the ban, ban, and yet she claims by her emerging faith the promises that were given to the Israelites. As a result, she is saved. The first image that inevitably comes to mind related to the conversation of the spies with Rahab is the Passover at the Exodus. there in order for the Israelites to be protected. They had to stay inside their home and mark the doorposts and the lintels of their houses with the blood of the sacrificial lamb. Now the blood shall be a sign for you on the houses where you are. And when I see the blood, I will pass over you, and the plague shall not be on you to destroy you when I strike the land of Egypt. Exodus 12:13. See also Exodus 12:22-23. By obedience, the people were to give evidence of their faith. So all who hope to be saved by the merits of the blood of Christ should realize that they that themselves have something to do in securing their salvation, while it is Christ only that can redeem us from the penalty of transgression. We are to turn from sin to obedience. Man is to be saved by faith, not by works, yet his faith must be shown by his works. Patriarchs and Prophets, page 279. In that case, the blood was a sign that saved them from the destroying angel of God, as God spared the lives of the Israelites during the last plague in Egypt. The Israelites were to save Rahab and her family when destruction reached Jericho. What powerful gospel message can we find in these two stories? What gospel lessons can we take from them? Yeah, let's go to pray. Our Father. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen, amen. Yeah. May God bless all of you. Let's go together. Amen.